first live stream. I just got the text sent to my phone. Oh, look at that. Like clockwork.
Can you
Is the quality better?
um yeah, I think
Anyway.
so. I think so. It looks pretty good. I can read every number good. Yeah, it looks good.
Bet. Alright then, D. You can tune in, stay in the Discord, or however you feel, but I think I got it from here.
I'll keep your stream up but muted so you have a viewer. I don't know if that'll help get more viewers, but
Not worried about it.
I'll keep her rolling up there. Although they can hear me, so I don't know if you wanna make that not possible.
When you see someone join in there, you can just let me know. Hey, you already got a second person viewing.
Otherwise you should be able to that slider where it says desktop audio, you should be able to slide that all the way down, and then that'll stop being able to hear my voice.
Oh, okay. So now talk. Ripley's got to go outside. Let me know if that works. Yeah, go out. Yeah, go outside. Come on. Yeah, hi, Papa. Dutchy, you gotta go outside. Nope, just Ripley. It did work. Very nice, very nice. Market still looks like it's gonna be in a hold mode. Oh, PayPal catching a bid. Let's go. Getting paid, D. How about that nice move? ACI. Let's go actually punch in this time. Let's just get a nice entry position, 5 shares, and we'll see how this goes, because I think this is looking really good. What do you think, Crow? You think this ends up taking out this high right here, and we start catching a nice bid, potentially breaking up over top of this channel that we're in? So at least running to the top of the channel, we're looking at 1.5%. Could get a rejection, but I'm looking for this to come up and fill this gap fill in some way, shape, or form, which would be a nice 30% rip. And more importantly, so that ACI, they just came out with the earnings yesterday. They had a nice beat. I looked through the earnings, nothing out of the ordinary, pays a nice dividend. But let's see where the moving averages are on a technical level. We were fighting to get through this 50 period. Realistically, it runs up to like 23 flat is very possible. So if we're taking an entry price right here up to 23 flat, potential 7.5% trade brewing right there. And PayPal is going to take out this wick high. If we wanted to add, could be looking to add right there, but I like the size that I got on that order right now. WSM given a wick top, so a little bit of profit taking after this officially turned into a buy down here. So it could have took profits, but I think I can get a profits out here at this 135. SoFi needs to get back over here, but holding 5, which is what I want to see. But on a day chart, just went positive yesterday. We took the breakout of this wick from the previous day. We started the position. We we kept adding to the position, then we took the breakout at 5, added a few more shares. I was looking to run that up to 520, but we'll see how that goes. Mullen still just nursing this position, had plenty of outs. 30-cent entry at the beginning of last week on these consolidation candles. Caught a nice bid. Now I'm looking for it to take out this high, not this gap is filled. Potential run from current price up to these previous highs. Still got about 40% to run, so I like the way that's looking. And ACI still just holding right here, so we are going to take our position on ACI. It's probably going to end up biting us, but let's see if that can get spicy. Boyd Gaming. Been just nursing this position. Gets a nice gap up right here. Took a couple of breakouts on an early position, just a very small size. If this is able to take out this high, we are looking to add a little bit there. Getting a breakout of the downtrend, cut into the downtrend 2 days in a row. Starting to get some good action right there. Roadblocks still positive, getting a nice gap up. Tried to fill the gap early in the day, but we're just nursing this position. Baba cut some shares of Baba yesterday, had to, turned a little bit bearish, and still holding up this 114 pretty good, so that's not bad. CrowdStrike's just a watch right now. I want to see it take out 100 flat. And Boyd Gaming looks like it is catching a bid. Let's go over to the 15-minute chart, and we are about to take out this high. So if we want to start a position, or up this position at all, it's going to be at this break at 57, give or take. MRO still churning away. It's going to try and reclaim this 27. If it can reclaim 27, we'll take a trade on it. So that's everything that I have on my board right there. Actually, SVRR broke the downtrend yesterday, getting very close. Took out that day's high from the previous day on Monday, and now put a wick, filled the gap, getting a nice bid. Let's see what this 15 minutes looking like. Yep, great action on this 15 minute. This can take out this high. It's going to be ready for another leg up. PayPal looks like it's the one to watch right here. It's getting ready for a break a day's high. Beautiful break of this long-term trend line right here. But did respect the gap fill up here. I'm looking for a pull back into this 3 flat right here. So cutting down the position. Could reload into the position down here if I really wanted to. Let's see what else we got. Looking like it's ooh, Lumen. I didn't even see this earlier. Now that I'm looking at the portfolio, got some great entries on Lumen. Lumentum, or Lumen Technologies. Took the break of yesterday's high from the previous week. Ended strong above 550, and boom. Gaps up, tries to fill the gap, and continues. And now we are getting ready to test 6, which I had marked for a potential add. See what this 15-minute looking like. Oh yeah, just straight up. Great actions, just going to keep running. And MRO, I do not want to miss out on this. Now that it is getting back to this 27, we want to see it set a candle close right here. We just went positive, positive. We can take a trade on this if we really wanted to right now, but I do have a little entry position. And I don't need to force myself into the position. It could get rejected off this 27 still, so going to keep this one on close watch. But that means oil, any other oil place could be starting to ramp up. So we are going to go make sure we are checking out the oil. Rig still just churning away. Oh, look at that. As soon as I look back to my chart, this starts catching a bid as we are setting new day's high right here. Beautiful entry on this, but still can up the position. We are looking to add as soon as we take out day's high from Monday, and we are looking to have some cuts at this gap fill, but looking for a potential break of this downtrend that's been in. Neo turning away. Tesla's potentially starting to build this nice U shape right here, setting up for a breakout of this 126 high that we got right here. If this just keeps going sideways for a little bit longer, I might take a breakout of like that 123 range for a little size, nothing crazy. But if Tesla wants to start running over here, God forbid, gotta listen to everyone talk about Tesla. SoFi's still trying to hold 5 right here. Looks really good for a dip buy opportunity. It's just I got the position filled already. As soon as this can get back over to like that 510, then we think about loading more shares. MRO still flirting with, we got 5 minutes till this candle closes right here. I would say that if this can set a close right here and turn green and set a new high on the next candle, that will go into that 27. Watch how it acts with that 27. But if it can get over that 27 and retest 27 flat, that's where you want your entry in my opinion. And B-pop really catching some steam right here. Shaved bottom on the gap up. Couldn't even have the force to come down and attempt to fill this gap down here. Let's go to a 15-minute chart, and yep, we are days high on B-pop. PayPal getting ready for days high right here. I could move this wick like right there. So I mean, breakout at 29 or 79. This looks like it's a potential reload into the position. But I like where we're sitting right now. Bought the consolidation, bought the dip buy, or the gap fill on the day, and we are at 79 flat right now. So this is catching some steam. Boyd, Boyd Gaming, new day's high, broke yesterday's high. looks like it's gonna just continue green throughout the rest of the day. No reason for this to start wicking right here after it's consolidated, 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 gaps up over it. Now we're catching a bid. ACI, I don't even know if this is gonna pan out. It looks like it's trying to fan out to some sort of bull flag. You got increased red volume right here. Don't really like the way that looks, and realistically the entry on this is over here. So I mean it's been churning away for quite some time if you're looking at it from a 15-minute chart. But I still think that this can break this and set a new high. FVR catching a little bit of a bid right here. We just set days high on FVRR. I'd expect this to just keep going up throughout the course of the day. Macy's is still running. Let's go take a look at Macy's. We can come back to light on this one later. Macy's is staying strong. Shaved bottom. Breaks through the 2150, which should have been identified as a potential buy. So as soon as we break this 2150, let's watch. Boom, there's 2150. You see how we break on top and then we rest on top of 2150? This is the golden entry right here. And then as soon as you take out this high is your second entry. So you got two entries, boom, you're filled in. Shave bottom on the next candle, it's looking good. You're really trying to up this position. Yeah, you break a new high and you can add some more size. And you could have easily ran this up to this gap fill, and I think probably even some more after that. So first entry on the position, you're looking at potential 2.6% still. MO. I was getting really close to taking this position earlier in the week. As you can see, we are trying to get above this moving average. This looks like it's going to retrace back to the gap fill and the uptrend. You know, this could start looking like a short. This is getting ready to go negative, negative. If you wanted to short this, you can probably catch a bid down to these 42s. There's a gap fill down there. Have an out inside of these gaps at some way, shape, or form. That's 4% out. And then another gap fill at 6%, another gap fill at 9.6% potential short on this. I just got done paying a massive dividend. You had a bunch of people getting in for the dividend, and now that they've got the dividend, they are going to be exiting on this trend line, sending the price down to these low 40s. So we will look to buy this at another date. We will buy this eventually, just not this week probably. OC. I think I had this on my watch at the start of the day. Yeah, so we were positive. We just went positive right here. Yesterday, I probably just looked away from it, but we come down, fill this gap, and we set a close right here. When I reanalyze the day, I should have had this chart set up because here you get the gap up and you stay shade bottom. You're putting wicks into this long-term downtrend right here. If this wants to get a breakout, I mean, you could have took the gap up for an entry position and look to run this up to the gap fill, which is 376. You got two outs and you hold the rest for a new all-time high. That doesn't sound like a half bad deal right there. Rig is starting to catch a bid right here. It's getting ready to go try to retest this 550 again. Yeah, this 550, let's just clear this chart for you guys. I mean, just staying bullish. It has not crossed over that middle to go negative. We have a beautiful uptrend. It's rejected 5. How many times? We got this wick right here. This 550 that we've tapped yesterday, we tapped 550. If you get a breakout of this high price right here, you know you're good for a potential run up into this 7 range where you can have some potential outs, potentially even running higher than that. Those 7 outs is at 35%. But let's go look at where the initial entry of this is. So as soon as this turns positive, positive, boom, break out of this high. Could have took the green candle and you would still be in this position with a couple outs, I'm sure, on the way up right here. But from the entry to the current position, 65% position, I mean, you can't complain with that, guys. That's good. That's good shit right there. And MRO, we did set a close near this 27, and now we did tap that 27. This could act as resistance, sending us back below this 26.90. So I want to see it push over 27 first before I think about taking a trade on this. But this has a pretty solid look, I would say. Tesla is still just consolidating sideways. This is what I'm trying to see. I want to see it continue to build this U shape right here, and we can potentially think about taking this trade. But a lot of red selling in this. I'd want to see this volume. So on the move up, 1, 2, 3, these three candles, really good move up. Boom, 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 increasing volume on each one. You'd want to see a lot less decreasing volume right here. Now, when we do push over this, we want to see the green volume exceed this volume over here. That tells us that the buyers are jumping in. And yeah, I I just need to see a little bit more information on Tesla before I could even think about taking the trade. Which reminds me to go take a look at the TQ. Oh, I already had one up right here. So, I mean, this still looks good. It doesn't look like it's going to be a short. You could have a potential double top coming in at the day's high from the day before or 2 days ago, whatever day that was. Yeah, that was from Monday. Day's high from Monday is what we're flirting with right here. If we were able to take that out, I think the market is going to rip. Remember, we do have a Fed meeting later on this week. And look at that. The ACI is just churning sideways. A little bit of red volume right here, but next candle turning green and getting ready to take out that price right there. If this is able to catch a bid, we are going to add some shares to this position. B-pop, another new day's high, just printing away. Don't even got to look at it anymore. I got the position that I want. And let's see if it can break this 69 and set a new high. SoFi potentially starting to look like a short play. As it's starting to build this upside down U right here, you can see it. If it wants to take out this low right here, you're going to have an exhaustive wave down, potentially retesting this 490 range. Now, if it comes down to that 490, we could add to this position because we are positive. We are positive. And I think that if it gets down to that range, this is going to be a potential build a U shape right here and eventually take out this high price right here. That's what I think with this. I think it has a very solid uptrend that's going to be a lot tougher to break. Oh boy, look at that. How's that look right there? Potentially actually starting to respect this uptrend. Maybe breaking day's high right here. There is a 27 flat on Marathon. If this wants to hold right here, need to see some size come in. Oh, and Marathon did finally just jump over top of that 27. This is what we've been waiting for. Now that we got the close and another new high, we can put orders in off this 27 flat and see if we get filled. But I am going to up my position size just a wee bit, market, and then we're going to put that 27 order in. So we jump in for the market order, and we are going to throw another order in off that 27 flat. If it wants to come retest that, we'll get triggered in for those shares. Realistic stop loss, probably this 26, could say 26.50. So risking 50 cents, but could make a lot more than that. That's the way that I see it. Let's go right off that 27, so we have our order in. If this wants to come back test this 27 flat, we are going to get triggered in for these shares. ACI really starting to turn green, starting to get a pickup in some volume as well. We still have 5 minutes left. I would like to see this take out this 21.32. Let's see if there's any big orders off of that. ACI does have some size on the bid. There's 4,000 shares on the bid at 29 here, so I just have a hard time thinking that this is gonna go against me right now. I don't see anything on the level 2 for big sells at this 2160 or 2136, which is where we have our gap fill, 2137. So let's up this size on this position, see if we can get a breakout, a new high right here. Nothing crazy, just a few shares. And let's see how that goes for us. Boyd, still just hovering around this area. PayPal getting a little bit of a pullback. Could be your dip buy opportunity back into the retest of these 2750s if you really wanted to. FVR setting almost new day's high right here. So at a break of this new high right here, I would expect that this keeps churning throughout the rest of the day. The TQ, same scenario, getting ready to take out this wick top. So market looks like it's going to continue the rally, and I'm just going to sit back and let my positions do a thing. SoFi still holding this 5. Well, we are interested in potentially picking up some shares. It's got to probably get back above this 510, I would say. B-Pop flirted with that wick top from Monday, but we are at day's high right now, so I'd expect this to keep printing as well. Mullen strong on the day, it's green on the day, holding our EMA. We have a decent uptrend that is trying to form right here. If it can take out this wick top, probably going to have some outs at the 45, I would say. But plenty of outs already taken on this position. We're just nursing it. We want to see it build this U shape and take out this 47.50. This is wicking on us. If we wanted to take a little bit of size off this position, see, this is a prime example of when you can take profits on a position that you have green. You see a double top come in like this, you're about ready to give up this moving average. Yeah, you do have an uptrend, so you could cut some of the position at the break of this uptrend, but we definitely should have this on radar to cut a few shares. I'm just going to stop loss a few shares at this 61.40 is where we're going to put a stop loss in on those shares. MRO still holding 27. I don't think that order's gotten filled yet. It looks like it could have gotten filled. Let's go check and see if we got filled in the order. And we did. We got filled on the 27 flat, so we are in the money on those shares that we bought right there. Did add some size to that, so I want to see this continue to start churning. If this starts going sideways on me a little bit, I will stop. I'm not going to put any other orders in until we potentially get up to this uh, new day's high. ASLN, we gotta go take a look at this. ASLN. Now this is what I'm talking about right here. Let's go to a 15-minute chart and see if we can find any potential positions on this. So any retest of this high right here, you can go long, so that meets in right at that 43 flat. It does not look like it's going to come back and test it at the moment, but if it does get a little bit of a pullback down to this 43 flat area, we are definitely going to look to add some of this ALS in. I mean, beautiful play. It was in this wedge for a long time. We broke over top of that. We back tested the top of it. Now it's turning into a buy again. I'm looking for this to potentially retest all-time high price, 23% trade potential. MRO still holding flat. If we wanted to add some size or any more to this position, let's see a little bit more of this 15-minute candle. You can see it's starting to build this nice U shape, upside down U potentially. Could be coming back down to this trend line, so we don't want to rush into a large position that we don't need to yet. Tesla's still building this U shape. Now this can be a little bit worrisome right here, because this was old resistance and now it's acting as resistance again. So a little bit of a false breakout on Tesla. You still have the gap in play. You still have the gap fill from Monday. You know, if it can take out these wick highs at, call it 123.50, you can potentially jump into a trade here. But I'm not touching that just yet. There's just too much selling pressure right now, so I'm not even gonna mess with it. Neo, the complete opposite, looks very strong. About to set days high. Wicks at 1170. If I'm gonna play an EV play, it's gonna be Neo and Moolin right now. Everything else seems to be working for me just fine. So CMP had some really good outs. Just telling my buddy earlier today we had outs at 35, 38, and one off of 40. We do wick up to that 41 on the day. Dude, I had an out right at day's high. I mean, you can't complain with that. We got a gap fill at 341. It just barely fails to get to that. I mean, that's how you identify. I mean, to any other trader, they'd be like, "Oh, you're breaking out of this wedge. This is about to break this high up here," which it still can. But I mean, just identify the gap. Know that today is the day that we want to take outs. We had entry positions down here at 250. It's a 33% gainer. Let's take a little bit of profit and go with it. And MRO catching a bid right here. We're about to set a new day's high. I'm gonna mark it in for a couple more shares right here, just because. I mean, this setup right here, we just went positive, positive. We're about to break the high of that candle. This looks like it's going to retest up into this 2750 potentially. And if it can break this downtrend, I mean, we're going to potentially got to fight through that 2764 gap. But I mean, we're talking about taking free 2% and then hold a little bit more for a breakout of this potential wedge. ACI, this one looks like it's going to end up turning against me, I would say. It can still work for me by all means, and if it wants to, great. But a realistic stop down here to 2110. You know, you could go below this wick. I don't know if I want to hold it that long. I just think that it's going to eventually just continue to respect this channel. But we'll give it probably today's low. If it comes down to, yeah, 2110, I would say, is stop loss area. I said I was going to mark it into MRO. I'm going to give it just a little bit more time. We still have 10 minutes left on this candle. This could uh, start to wick on me, so I'm not even going to worry about it right now. B-pop, another new day's high, 69, printing money to the upside, and this is where you would expect that breakout to kind of come and play right here. We look to the day chart, and you know, if it was going to wick, it's going to wick right here. If this can push over that 69.50, we're going up to this gap fill up at 71 basically, give or take. FVR starting to build this wedge pattern right here that is going to try and fight to take out this price, and it should catch a nice bid if it's able to break through that. Rollblocks. I mean, here's your consolidation. You got people that were trying to buy this gap. I'd expect it to probably come down and fill this gap, but nonetheless, we are positive. Positive. You can take a trade on this if you have the right entry. Now, is it the right entry right now? Probably not. Start a tracker share off of this gap fill, which is which is the closing price. And ACI looks like it's going to go against me right here. Do I want to hold this down for a potential percent loss? You know, we can give it a little bit of time, but it's looking like that's going to end up being a cut position right there. TQ about to set weekly highs right now. I would say that it's probably going to break through that weekly high. SoFi down at 5 flat right here. So now this is definitely looking like a short position. Uh, Bearish on SoFi at the moment right now. It's got to get some volume coming in. We got a lot of red volume, red volume, red volume, building this nice U shape. Looks like it's going to send it back down to this 490. Am I okay holding the position down the 490 is what I have to ask myself. It still has an uptrend that's going to have to break through. So let's give it this uptrend and see how it acts with 490. If we have to cut the position, we got to cut the position. We got so many other plays out there working for us right now that I'm not even gonna mess around with the smaller ones. And ASLN, another new day's high. I should have marketed in on this. We're probably going to force ourselves into this position. Any pullbacks like 43.10 to 43.15. Going to look to market order into this. And Tesla, same scenario. You see how it's starting to build this upside down U shape right here? If that is the case and it breaks down and gives out this wick bottom right here, this is going to retract down to the gap fill at 118. So I mean, if you were looking for a potential stop loss area, I mean this 121.90 is a pretty good stop, and look for another opportunity to enter elsewhere. But I'm not going to touch Tesla right now, not with this look that it has right here. Just not enough, not any green volume. We're just descending volume right here and tons of red volume. MRO, gonna try to hold this 27 flat. If you're missing out on, if you don't got a position in it and wanted a position, I mean this 27 right here, if it can hold this and start turning green, see how I was gonna go market into this, and I said no, there's a lot of time left on this candle. Let's see the time. This could start wick topping on me right here. If it was gonna do it, it would do it right here. So I want to see this 26.95 hold and set new day's high. And this is why I said I was going to give it to the trend line. See how we're starting to wick? The buyers are trying to come back in right here, even though you have this nasty look of a double top right here. If you wanted to cut some shares, it's probably right here. You don't want to do it right here just yet. Let's give it down to this trend line, see if it can get back on top of this trend line at all. SoFi is holding that 5. And I was expecting the TQ to be pulling back a little bit with some of the plays pulling back, but TQ sitting right at day's high, testing this 19 flat, potential breakout of weekly high price at this 19. Doesn't look half bad. BPOP, and this is a weekly high for BPOP, so and it is holding this green top. MRO still catching a bid right here, 27 flat. You know, I'd say it's a realistic entry right here at this 27 flat. It's stop loss at 35 cents. You know, if you bought 10 shares, you're risking $3.50 for a potential move to the upside. I think it's worth it. Tesla does have the buyers though. It looks like Tesla could potentially go for a break of this 2350 right here, and it is catching some size right here. Flipped over to this chart at exactly the right time. Uh, if we want a market order in right here, we're going to do it at this 2350. Break out of these highs right here. This ACI looks like it's going to try to hold for me. If it can, yep, it's catching a bid back up to that 2130. That's not terrible right there. If it can get over 2132. I'd say that looks good to go in MRO, and here we are. We are about to push this high price for the day, hopefully. See if it can continue catching a bid. Back to Tesla. It is going to try to come to this 2350, so I am going to get ready to potentially buy a little Tesla right here. God forbid. I don't think it's a good idea, but it is catching a little bit of a bid right here, so we aren't going to miss out on it. It's got to get up to 123.50 though. That's where it's going to have to get to. But is potentially starting to build this U shape right here. SoFi held flat or 5 flat very well. TQ, new day's high on TQ. I would expect everything to get ready to start setting up for a rally, and that's new day's high on Marathon. Beautiful. ACI really looking, oh, increasing volume on ACI. Now instead of thinking about selling this, we are going to add to this position because that increase in volume with the hammer candle about ready to break out of this bull flag right here, I would say looks pretty good. So we are going to market into a little bit of this. Only have a small size right now, so I just want to make sure I have the correct size. And on the bid's stacking up to 3,000 shares on 21.29, so people are looking to market into this right here. I think that this looks pretty good. So we are going to market in for just a little bit more size and see how that goes for us. Tesla is still just barcoding right here. It's got to take out this 123.50 for me to even think about taking the trade. I even got anyone watching me. Let's take a look. The stream, are you still there, DJ? The stream quality is like gets blurry when I go in and out of different screens. You got any clue how to fix that? Alright, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. MRO, new day's high, 2708, printing to the high side. Called it out for you guys. If I had a single shred of viewers in here, you guys would have got in on this trade with me probably. Gonna start printing, and pretty much everything that I've been calling out is just printing to the high side. What can I say, Crow? You know what I mean? B-pop, another new day's high, 69.20. Boyd flirting with day's high right here. It's been hovering around this price for quite some time. Potential dip buy back in 27 flat. Here's your dip buy. Anyone who wants to buy the top of the previous wick should be coming in right about there. Let's go take a look at the tech. HPQ, we got an entry position on this. Looks like it is trying to fan out and break this day's high, which is the downtrend. And FVR finally broke out of that wedge pattern that we talked about earlier. New day's high, 32 flat. SoFi still holding. Tesla, see, that's why you wait for the breakout points. Now this is really looking like a short. If it gives out this low, we told you guys right from the get-go that this is going to be in a channel right here. If it goes bullish, you're going to break 123.50. If it goes bearish, you're going to break 122. One viewer D, you know what I'm saying? The callouts are fucking just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like this is nuts. Not forcing into anything right here. Just all just gold, pure gold. And that's another new day's high on FVR. Beautiful call out right there. B pop still sitting at day's high. PayPal going to go flirt with day's high right now. Look at this U shape that's building right here. Going to break over top of this wick and should catch a nice bid right there. Roblox fighting with 33 flat. BYD really looking decent, I would say, for an ad. MRO is still just trying to hold 27 flat. A little bit of a false breakout right there, but this looks good. A lot of increase in green volume over the first hour and a half here. And you're getting decreasing red volume right here. 10 minutes left. The buyer should be getting ready to jump back in right here, I would say. If it wants to give out this, okay. Middle of this green candles meets down to 26.90. And here we go. Tesla's trying to catch a bid. See if it can finally break out. So far, really catching a bid here. Break out of this high right here looks very good. 506. And I would need to see it get back on top of 510 for this to see any type of continuation, in my opinion. Tesla still right in the middle. Don't know which way that's gonna go yet. TQ still tapping days high again. FVR resting at days high. That one did kind of start going against us a little bit. Let's take a look at that. Oh, we got some good buying coming in. I'd say that looks pretty good. Oh, we got this on watch here, boys. We will take a trade on this if it starts building this bull flag right here and a breakout of 70 flat. Doesn't look half bad right here. It's got a identified channel down. Let's just clear the chart first before we do this. Identified channel down. I'm sure you can probably go from somewhere in here and meets out pretty good. Yeah. but at the same time you do have an uptrend. Broke the downtrend. Room to run to the uptrend. Yo, MRO is catching that wick right there. This just looks so good, guys. Like, I wish I had more people in here watching this. I mean, this looks beautiful. There's your wick buyers buying the previous candle before the breakout high. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. This is free money. I'm going to jump in for... I shouldn't say free money on a stream. Talking about making money. But this looks extremely good, and I'm going to buy a few more shares. Up that size just a little bit. We're just going to mark it in. If it goes against me, I'll put an execute stop, and I'll reevaluate it for the next day. But I think that looks good. ACI really looking like it's going to try to hit this breakout on this next candle. We got 7 minutes left. Consistently setting new highs. If this is a confirmed higher low right there, then this is going to break out of this. And let's see where that can go. PayPal gonna go attempt. I told you guys it was building a nice U shape right here. Now we're starting to see it pan out, and we're about to break day's high. We just broke 79 flat. Let's see if we can get today's high at 79.10. That's why you don't give up on the trend line. The trend is your friend. Dell down 3% on a big day like this. Let's go look at this. Let's see if we can find any opportunity right here. Look at that wick. Look at that buying pressure right there. If this can find a way to get back up to like 41.50, could potentially look at taking a trade right here. TQ's ripping. Everything else is ripping. Tesla's still a tweener. It's going to go try and take out this 23.50, and we will jump in on this trade at that time. So I do not want to miss that. Great buying pressure on Diamondback Energy. Light did turn green on the day. This could actually try to go. We'll keep this chart up now that we've gotten a bid. If it gets back over this 56.80, we can potentially start that trade. RL just flirting down here. It's alright. It's gonna start printing. Now that we're getting close to the end of this candle though, this is getting a little bit higher on the red volume side, but buyers could be jumping in. Neo rejected at day's high briefly. Let's see how it acts down here at this 11.50. Now that it's claimed it. Claims 11.50. Let's see if it can hold 11.50. PayPal potential double top coming in at the top of this U shape. Got 4 minutes left of this candle. Let's see how it ends. Tesla really looking like it's gonna try to give out this 22 flat. ACI might not pan out for us. I want to see the buyers come back in and see if this is getting ready for an extension. MRO gave up 27 flat. This might not end up being a liable trade right here. If it gives up 20, it gave up 27, it can give up this 26.90. Like I said, that red volume right there could be scaring a few people. I think this is false. We're gonna see how it pans out right here. This one might end up going against us. Might be for another day. $26.70 down to $26.50. Decent stops and it is freezing down here. Alright, how long have I been streaming? I'm not gonna spoil these guys this long. Only one person watching. I think that was a good stream. I will see you guys on the next one. Actually, how long have I been streaming? How do I tell how long I've been streaming for? It says been live for an hour. Yeah, we're not gonna spoil you guys with so many plays for a whole hour straight. So we will be back here tomorrow for another hour of live streaming. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.